Matter of fact, both of y'all teams in the Eastern Conference. Mine not. I'm in the West. You know, wish you were in the East. You feel me? We have an easier chance to get to the playoffs. All right, so we gonna talk, and Jamo, we're gonna kick it to you first. All right,
Okay.
the best team in the Eastern Conference. East is kind of it's not the weak conference no more. I mean, West is more. They got more teams that can fight for the playoffs, but the East is top heavy. I think it's top heavy for real. So,
Mm-hmm.
J-Mo, who's the best team in the East right now?
All right. I think the best team in the East is the team with the best player in the NBA, the Bucks. I think the Bucks are the best team. I mean, just to start off, they're 7-0. They're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I think people pick and choose when they want to say it's too early. When the team looks good, they say it's too early. But when their team looks good, it's like, yeah, we're undefeated. So I don't care how early it is. They 7-0. You know what I mean? They looking good, and they don't even have Chris Middleton. We saw all that praise that the Celtics team got last year, and Giannis took them 7 games without his second best player. So I mean, enough said for me. I feel like the Bucks. I'm comfortable with saying the Bucks are the best team. They're not like head and shoulders above everybody, but I feel like they're the best team in the league. I mean, not in the league, in the Eastern Conference. Even though Boston did what they did last year, I think him taking them 7 games without his second best player just shows that, yeah, they still the team to beat in the East to me.
All right. All right, Jerron, you gonna
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, brother.
go?
I
Okay.
mean, it's hard not to. They undefeated, like you said. They beating everybody. They got a plus 11 in point differential. They're the best defense in the league. Top five rebounding team, I believe. Top five in blocks. I mean, what else can you say? They got the best player in the league on their team. The best defensive guard on their team. And like you said, Middleton is out. They have a unit like them. They've been together. I think they brought back all their whole team. They probably got like one new player. I think they're just like us. We brought back the Magic. We brought back almost every like 12, 14 players, and so did the Bucks. So that shows cohesiveness. They know each other. They can ball together. And I'm pretty sure they have a chip on their shoulder from last year. Chris Middleton went down. They saw the Celtics go and win, and they took them to 7 without Chris Middleton. So they like, we know we better. So I really agree with you, and I would say the Bucks, due to the fact they have the best player, they don't have their second best player, the best defense in the league, best rebounding team. They have so many mismatches with their size, and they don't have their second best player. So I'm definitely going with the Bucks, and it's hard for me not to go with nobody else.
All right. All right, Joe, y'all kind of surprised me with it. It's not surprising, but y'all surprised me with the Bucks Bucks pick. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't
Oh,
know
okay,
y'all
the
was gonna say the
Magic.
Bucks. Nah, I ain't know James was gonna say the Bucks though.
I ain't
That's
even though. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you were
threw
gonna
me
say
off.
somebody else.
All right, I'm going with the Celtics. I think it's the Celtics. All right, so I'm picking the Celtics, and I know we said that Giannis took him 7 games, and this player is not on Giannis' caliber of starting this, but they barely had Robert Williams that whole series, which is one of their best defensive players. So we gotta remember that too. Now, the Celtics, they have the right playoff team. So I look at it. They got a right playoff team. They got switchable players, 1 through 5. They got shooters, 1 through 5, and they got length, 1 through 5. All right. So that's what I like about them. So, and Adam Brogdon, like you said, they brought back everybody from last year. Also, they
Yeah,
just added Malcolm Brogdon, really, and they
yeah.
would have had Gallinari, but he got hurt. All right, I'm mad he tore Achilles, but or ACL it was. So they got Malcolm Brogdon, who's been playing pretty good so far this season, but it's early in the season. And they right now they don't have Middleton, they don't have Robert Williams right now. Robert Williams gonna be out for like the first month. So by the time play and then their coach, I think their coach is gonna be another protege, either protege or Udoka. Like I don't think they're gonna miss a beat when it comes to what happened last year. So when they get to the playoffs, all right, it's gonna when they get to the playoffs, they got 2 players, Jason Tatum and matter of fact, let me block this person for y'all. There we go. All right. Somebody going crazy in the comments. I had to block them. All right. So they got 2 players, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, who could take over the game anytime. I know we can say that about probably Giannis
Middleton.
and Middleton,
Mhm.
but Jason Tatum and Brown can score in any aspect of the floor. They could go to the basket, they score with the dribble, they can catch and shoot, they can bring the ball up and play the point at times. Jalen Brown, I don't know, he lost the ball a few times last year in the playoffs, but I just think that right now because of the defense, I know that right now statistically Bucks are the best defense team, but it's in the East is really the Celtics when it's all said and done, in my opinion. So that's why I got.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can just like say that, and I think you're gonna have an argument against you. Like you
Mhm.
forgetting Middleton is a two-way player as well. He's not just the
Fact.
offensive player.
Yeah, he
So
is.
and he
Brooke
has length.
Lopez.
He got length too. His arms long. So like you said, Brooke Lopez, Bobby Portis, like they got some like.
Hmm.
And then what you said about Tatum and Brown scoring in a variety of ways, that's true. They can score in a more variety of ways, but not one way that they score is as dominant as the way Giannis scores.
Yeah.
Fact.
Giannis in the paint equals like three different ways of them scoring. That's how dominant
Hmm.
he is. So, I mean, like, that's a good argument you put up, but I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's true.
And against the playoff thing, I mean, I understand Robert Williams is out, and that's a big piece of them. That's Time Lord. I mean, he blocks everything. I mean, I thought so many shots was about to go in, but he just
Time
smashed them
Lord.
joints. It's crazy. But you got to know that the Bucks, their offense, when they're at their best, is when Chris Middleton and Giannis is running pick and roll. It's unstoppable. Once he come off that pick, Chris Middleton can either shoot it, or he can dish it to Giannis, or he can dish it to other guys, and that's what's gonna make them lethal. And I feel like that's why they're the best, man. The way that Giannis is so relentless, and he has a guy like Chris Middleton that's skilled,
Hmm.
that can do the things that Jason Tatum and the Jalen Browns can do, and he has the Drew Holiday. So I like the additions that the Celtics got, but I don't think the coach is going to be as firm as Udoka. But I do think they're
Hmm.
going to miss a little bit of it, like a little beat, because they're already. I mean, it's the beginning of the season. Their points that they're allowing is 10 plus from last year. So we're going to see.
Oh dang. He
All
was
right,
going
Joe.
in.
Two
I
things,
just
Joe.
go
I
ahead.
wanted to say two things. One, hopefully one of those players on the Celtics can take what Udoka gave them and become a better leader than
Hmm.
whoever the leader was in the play. I still don't even know. People say it's Marcus Smart, but it, I guess he's
Hopefully
the
it's Tatum. God
I
damn.
guess he's the closest. But we don't know. A lot of people say the coach is the leader, and the coach is gone. So one of those guys is going to have to step up and be the leader. And two, I want to give some love to Cleveland. I think somebody in the comments said they like the Cavs. I like the Cavs as well. I think I was on the phone with you
Hmm.
earlier, maybe yesterday, Joe, and I said, "What's stopping Cleveland Cavaliers from beating the Celtics in a 7-game series?" Like Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs is an amazing player. I mean, he's like top 6 or 7 all time in points per game in the playoffs. Darius Garland, um, another great young player. Jared Allen got hurt last year. That's the only reason why they fell down in the playoff
Yeah.
season. So, I want to show Cleveland some love. I think they have a good chance of being like top 2 or 3 seed in the East.
Hmm. Yeah. I agree with you. They got a nice team and they match up well with anybody also because they got that size
Mm-hmm.
and they got two scores. But I do want to address something y'all said. Not something y'all said, but the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went 7 games with the Bucks, but watching that series, the Celtics were the dominant team. They just couldn't close those games they lost. They just couldn't close. And one of the main reasons why they couldn't close, they ain't got no point guard. So having Brogdon, I'm not saying Brogdon is Chris Paul, but Brogdon is a better decision maker than Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
So I think having Malcolm Brogdon on the squad, they're not going to be having those meltdowns they had against the Bucks. Remember that game with Drew Holiday stole the ball from Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart messed up that whole game up, 2 possessions straight. Got a ball stolen from him, and ain't got a ball stolen twice. Matter of fact, he blocked it the first time, and then he got the rebound. So if Brogdon was in the game, I don't think that would happen. So that's another reason why.
I like that though. I like that point you brought up because Jalen Brown and Tatum, they both were turnover machines in the playoffs last year. He's gonna take the ball out of their hands. But it's just hard for me to see them beating the Bucks due to the Giannis's effect of it. He's just so relentless. He
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
beat them last year by himself. And if he had Middleton, it's like it's hard to contain both of them because Middleton in the playoffs he shows up, man. He comes, he can play with the best of them. So it's gonna be a good matchup. I really want to see them two play again. Before I would rather see them two play over the Nets playing again, to be honest, because I feel like that those two heavyweights on the defensive end hit the boards hard. They play kind of the same style. So
Yeah.
I think those are two. They're on the collision course right now. The two best teams in the East, to be honest. One team I do want to give some recognition to. I talked bad, not bad, but I talked about them in the before the season started. But I told you yesterday, Joe, and I told you it's about the Cavs. I told you because at first I said I didn't know how Garland and Donovan was gonna look, but I told you what I said. I said the fact that Garland went out, it was good for them because they let Donovan go out there and he had to worry about that. He could just be himself and establish himself with the team in a couple of games. Garland comes back, pure point guard, the slides right there. So I like what I'm seeing from the Cavs. They're a top defensive team too, with two guys that can get buckets. So it's going to be a great playoffs. And those three teams right there, I think out of those three, one of them coming out the East.
It's crazy. Jay was when you
Joe,
had
you didn't think I was gonna get through this segment without bringing them Sixers up? Don't even try. Listen,
Oh Lord.
prayers up for my man James Harden. We hoping for a speedy
it's
recovery.
not severe though, so y'all good.
Yeah, it's not severe, man. Hey, look, the
Right.
good news is we know he can give us 30. If we need 30, he can give us 30. That's the good news.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bad news is Maxey is picking every 3 games to do his thing. So, we still got to figure that out. There's nothing going on with my team that has me terrified. All of these are just kinks that you normally have to figure out through the season when you have a new team. And my point still stands. Tobias Harris has to go.
Yeah.
The contract is too much. He's making too much money to be giving us 16 points a game. And even if he is giving us 16 points, it's not the 16 points we need. We don't need 16 of his. Give me the ball. Let me do my thing in the mid range. We got Embiid, Harden, and Maxey on the floor. Like, we don't need that. He's a good player. He'd do great with somebody else, but Sixers, we looking good. I still like us. It hasn't changed. I just think the Bucks are the best right now. Let's keep it.
Let's get it. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.